Good morning, everyone. It's time for our daily word, 10 o'clock on Tuesday, May the 3rd. You could join me for our continued time together. It's a rainy, soggy morning out there this morning, but we are gathered together as always. I had a long day yesterday in Dayton, but a good meeting that I was able to lead. And so back in the church this morning in the fireside room, coming to you with our daily word. So this morning I've chosen, it's so familiar, and there's lots of interpretations about the 23rd Psalm. 23rd Psalms are read at funerals most often. On the Good Shepherd Sunday in church they're often read. These words are familiar to us. These are some of the words that, in a large group even, churched or unchurched, if you would say, in a crowd, recite with me the 23rd Psalm, many folks could get many of the words right. They're comforting, they give us hope, they remind us of God's presence with us in all the circumstances of life. So we know these words, you can recite them with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, he leads me beside still waters, he restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So this psalm that the psalmist gives us have become for generation upon generation upon generation of people powerful, important words. Words that we hold on to in crisis, in the time of death, a reminder that God's always present with us. And I got to thinking about this psalm in light of where we are in our world and the difficulties we find ourselves in. And I sometimes wonder, as I listen to people, I sometimes wonder if we really trust that God has our back, if you will. If we really trust that God takes care of us in the midst of the dark valley moments. If we really trust that God finds a way to comfort us. If God really provides for our daily needs, if you will. Just 33 years ago, about right now, give or take a little bit, 33 years ago, on the very same day, within a few minutes of each other, I was offered a job, one in Sydney and one in Marysville. They were similar jobs, doing similar things, working with adults with disabilities. And those phone calls came within a few minutes of each other. And there I was, stuck in the quandary of what to do. They were excellent jobs. They would provide good opportunities. And I had to wrestle with which place to go to, which job to take. And I remember, having long conversations with Diane about that and thinking about what the most opportunities there were and what it made the most sense for us and how it is that we would live our lives moving forward. We didn't get married until September, so we were making a decision that was going to begin to impact our lives right after we got married. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation before, but there are those moments in our life where it seems to me that the image of God as shepherd, as faithful companion, whose very nature for us is to protect us and walk beside us in our journey, takes on an important meaning. And so we wrestled with the whole thing. And of course, we chose to accept the job in Sydney. And if you think about, we talk about this often, think about how the 33 years have played out. You know, eventually coming to St. Paul's, leaving, coming back to St. Paul's, raising our kids, them going to Fairlawn, them meeting their spouses, the grandkids, and then all the people that are in our lives. I tell people all the time, when I go to therapy, I usually know somebody there. The other day, I knew somebody, a new person came, and when they came to get us, we were standing there talking, and one of my therapists said, "Jim, you know them too?" I said, "Of course." And it's this interesting thing, you know, about you move somewhere new and you don't know anybody, and then all these years later, you know seemingly everybody. You know, that's a stretch, I know. But there's this reminder for us, you know, that we can see God through this psalm in lots of ways. But for me, in thinking about this, and this came to mind for me because yesterday, kind of in jest and kind of seriously, I was offered a job yesterday. Was kind of in jest, but then it really wasn't. It was really serious. And the person actually said to me, "I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm going to see what you think." And you know, I kind of blew them off, except, you know, those kind of conversations kind of ring in the back of your head. Should I take this seriously? What does this mean for us? Our understanding of God in those situations, our understanding of God and our searching soul reminds us, at least for me, that this good shepherd surrounds me, surrounds you, keeps me in place, you know, like sheepdogs keep herds of sheep and cattle and whatever they're doing, keep them in place, keep them safe, and help them along their journey. And it's true for us in our life's journey. As we're confronted with all kinds of things, it is the good shepherd who, for me especially, mostly sets with me, hymns me in, helps me in those moments when I'm sitting on the porch and contemplating whatever it is has come my way. 33 years ago, contemplating which job offer to accept. Today, you know, thinking about that funny but not funny, serious but not serious job offer that I got yesterday. I can just retire and then come and do that. But of all the circumstances in our life, to me, it's the image of God the shepherd, who is our faithful companion, who protects us and walks beside us in our journey. And for me, with all the poetry of the 23rd Psalm and all the meaning that we can put into it, and the meanings are vast and various, it's a reminder, you know, that God just hymns us in and helps us along our journey. And that's good news for us in the days that we live in and the ways that God continues to call to us. So, recite again the 23rd Psalm. See where it is that you find God in your life through the psalmist and through these poetic words. And just remember that it is God who's faithful and who journeys with us in all of our lives. So today, may you know of God's love and shepherding presence in your life. And may you know of my love for you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.